Okay, so right now is the most exciting time right now in crypto. So obviously Bitcoin hit 67,000, super big, super exciting, and then we got Aaron Rodgers, and then obviously all these celebrities buying NFTs. So let's start out with Bitcoin's chart. What's going on? So I'm still in this trade that I was in. I was down 16% on it yesterday. I told you guys I was extremely optimistic. I was gonna keep it open. I'm only down, I think, 7% today. Last night I was up $50 on the trade. Could have closed it, taken profits, made $50 on the trade. I didn't want to do that. I showed you guys the trade. I'll show it to you guys again. But what I see is I'm just been adding to the position. So I actually added $300 to the position, but I don't see us going lower than 59, like, and as like just hovering around there, and then I don't see a dip below 57 just from the charts that I've been looking at. Because when you look at Bitcoin's chart, there's a lot to look at. The main thing that we want to see is obviously you have this yellow right here. This is a falling wedge. So this is a pattern we've been tracking for a very long time. It's very important. It took all, so this is a daily, and each one of these represents the entire day. So it obviously took probably 3 weeks. It's been about 3 weeks that this falling wedge. But anyways, we broke out of it. We broke bullish, but we did break this uptrend that we were in. So we were in this nice little uptrend, and it did end up breaking. And so we said, okay, so you have this ascending triangle pattern essentially, with a downside price target of about 58,684. Potentially that plays out, and we did dip a little bit yesterday. But what I'm noticing a lot different than the past few days. So this is 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we had basically a bullish, as I was bearish engulfing candlestick right here on the charts, basically saying that we wanted to push down more. This is basically a shooting star pattern. It's an inverse hammer pattern. Both relatively bearish signs. This right here looks like a hammer. So on the daily chart, so we'll see where this prints. This closes in 2 hours, but it's not looking bad right now. Potentially, I don't see us wicking much lower if we do get this close, because you got to understand we're on day 6. We're on day 6 of probably the most bullish, because you got to zoom out. When you zoom out, you realize we just hit 57,000, like I was just talking about. We just hit 57,000. Monthly candle's about to close, or as I was, monthly candle closed at its all-time highest, so we already know November is going to be a good month, and really we're just anticipating this little pullback. Okay, so we have a little pullback. We know that it's going to happen, and it's happening. It's just how big is this pullback going to be? And that's what I'm looking at. Is I'm looking at this falling wedge. This falling wedge, the reason I'm so confident in it is because it's back tested this support so many times. It's hit this level, it's hit this level, it's hit this level, and it's bounced. Even when it hits lower levels, it bounces. But what we have to be careful of is we are on this 4 hour in this downtrend right here. So this is very important to keep an eye on. So do I think the price to action, you have essentially 3 green soldiers or something like that. It's the opposite of 3 black crows, which is a bearish pattern. I think it's called 3 green soldiers, something like that. Basically where you have bullish engulfing candlesticks, 3 of them in a row. So
Just remember, you have to be very careful what you post now or say on the internet because you're a Marine.
okay. So you got the 3 bullish engulfing candlesticks, and then it's looking good, and that's on the 4 hours. So obviously that's a big deal. And then potentially you have a double bottom pattern playing out right here. So there's bullish aspects to it, but potentially we could see a little bit more downside because we are in a downtrend. Let's see. So big news today that everybody was talking about was the baby. Little baby was going on, and he was saying that he bought a $150 NFT, and it was big news. But so is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I had a friend that was talking to me about that because obviously he knows I'm in crypto, and I said, like, the whole little baby thing, it's it's whatever, you know. My main thing when I heard him say that is he gonna sell at the right time? Because I see there's about 2 more months in crypto for NFTs to be strong, and that's what everybody's talking about. And you know, my friend asked me, he thought he was being all slick. He was in the car and he's like, so what do you think about those like digital JPEG things? I said NFTs, and he's like, yeah. I said, we got about 2 more months. I see in this bull market with crypto. I see about 2 more months of bullish upside on crypto. So there's a lot of things. So first off, when you're talking about the baby's NFT, he bought that on the Ethereum network. So the Ethereum network, super high transaction fees. Maybe it makes sense for the baby to buy a $150,000 NFT, but if you're just trying to buy a $50-$200 NFT, right off the bat, you're going to be paying $100 to $200 in gas fees. So that really cuts into your ROI. So I was telling him, I'm like, well, let's say you want to go buy an NFT. It's going to cost you $50 for the transaction. Or it's going to cost you, like, let's say you want to buy a $50 NFT. It's probably going to cost you $100 out the door to buy it. And then it's probably going to cost you another $100 to sell it. So you got to make like 4 times whatever. If you have a $50 NFT, you have to make 4 times that to even make what it costs you to buy and sell it. So is it worth it on the Ethereum network? Maybe not. Cardano, Solana, it's promising. The only thing is to really make a high ROI, because it's like, he's like, my friend was telling me, like, you make so much money on these NFTs. Yeah, if you hit the right one. If you don't hit the right one, you know, I've seen people lose money on NFTs. I've never personally got into it. And then the other thing, just because I have a big portfolio and it doesn't really make sense for me to get even more into crypto than I already am, because I already have like 97% of my portfolio in cryptocurrency. So and you know, NFTs are what they are, but you gotta learn the ecosystem. So you gotta learn which projects are gonna pop off. So if you're getting into it right now, it's probably gonna take you a month or whatever to really figure out where you're going. Then you got a month left of the bull run. I mean, is there money to made? Yes, you can make money, but these Cardano and Solana, they're gonna be really high risk but really low barrier. So you just gotta have the hustle if you want to get involved with them. What my personal strategy is and what I'm looking at doing is getting into them in the bear market. So, because like I said, there's a low barrier to entry, so there's not very much risk in ADA and Solana NFTs, and potentially, you know, we're still early to the NFT game, especially these ecosystems that are brand new. So what I'm saying is that potentially there could be some massive gains there with very little downside. This cycle, I don't know, because there's not a lot of development. So I'm waiting for the I'm waiting for the bear market. So I'm waiting the next, at least by Q2 of next year. But regardless, in a year from now, everything should be down in cryptocurrency dramatically, unless we're in a super cycle, which is an argument. But I would not bet on a super cycle. I think you're wrong if you're betting on a super cycle. It could happen, and obviously we'll see where we're at in a year, but most of the experts are saying we're going to come down. It makes the most sense. The only real argument for a super cycle is there's so much inflation, but I think people are going to see Bitcoin at 100,000, 130,000 and be like, why are we paying so much for a coin? And I think it's going to come back down. Either way, I'm betting on Bitcoin going down, and then buying NFTs potentially when they're down. If not, I don't see, you know, you miss the boat on certain things. Like, you know, I wish I would have got into Chainlink earlier. That was a big project that I feel like I missed out on, even though I bought in heavy when it was super cheap. I feel like I didn't get in cheap enough. And then Dogecoin, I missed out on Dogecoin, even though let's take a quick look at Shiba Inu. Even though some people never got into it. I got into it, made some money on it, but you know, sometimes you just got to miss the boat on some of these and let them go. All right, so Shiba Inu, it's funny. It just bounced recently, so everybody's saying it's gonna die or whatever. And it looks kind of bullish. It's in this golden accumulation zone right now. I mean, don't take that for anything, but I mean, if you hold a bag, there's still definitely hope It's literally in this golden Fibonacci zone, and it just bounced off. So it's looking pretty decent on the charts. And people were asking me about this, and what's the deal on Shiba Inu? Should I buy? Should I sell? And I said, listen, right now, and they're talking to me about it like right here when it was tanking. I said, look, it just depends on whether you want to get into it or not, because right now technicals are saying we were going to go down further because we broke this double top idea. We did go down further, and it's like, are we going to keep going down, or are we going to keep going in the red? I'm like, with Shiba Inu, there's always the possibility that it bounces, and it bounced. It just like literally found support out of literally nowhere and just bounced. Are we going to keep going up, or are we going to go down? It looks like we're probably going to bounce here. I think we're going to have one more pump, which is ridiculous. Just from a technical standpoint, the fact that like it was literally in a downtrend, it was selling off like crazy, and it just bounced out of nowhere. This could be a dead cat bounce, but it's high risk. I wouldn't put too much money into it, and I don't know I would say it's like a 50-50 coin flip. So if you're just now trying to get into it, I don't know if it'd be worth it or not, because that's how I see it. I see as, we just bounced. We just showed the market, I think yesterday or earlier this morning, it was up 20 or 30%. It could definitely go up more, but so it's definitely showed the market it can run. But is that, like I said, just a dead count bounce, or are we going to continue to see a lot of that insane momentum? It doesn't seem like the whales have sold. It just seems like a lot of retail has been dumping bags. I mean, I took heavy profits on this thing as it was running up. So as it came down, I wasn't concerned at all. That's how I've been playing this. And if it gets one more pump, I'm probably going to do the same thing. If not, I'll probably leave like a very small. I've already cashed out my entire investment out of this thing. Literally. Like of my initial deposit. So my initial deposit, let's say it was $200. I cashed that $200 out, put it into Cardano, and then I had another $200 in there because I'd already over doubled my money in the coin, which isn't very hard to do with how parabolic it's been. Anyways, that's my update. I wanted to keep you guys updated on what exactly has been going on my trade.